Is everybody good to go?
Yes.
What are your general thoughts of the draw on number 5 national seed? Did you feel like you should be higher?
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't matter. I think we knew that we were going to be top 8, and after that, kind of doesn't make much difference. I think we do, in general, kind of think we are better than a 5 seed. So I think we can use that as some fuel. And aside from that, I think it's a good draw. We're going to, whoever it ended up being, we're going to take it, and we're confident going into this weekend.
What do the next few days look like for you guys? I assume you're going to be grinding through 3 different scouting reports, right?
Yeah, I mean, I leave that to the coaches, but yeah, I think that we're light today. We'll have a couple of good practice days tomorrow and Wednesday, and then light again Thursday. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a good amount of time to get ready. We'll, like you said, be getting ready for 3 teams, and again, just we feel really good going into this thing.
As one of the hitters, I mean, you have the chance to face so many different pitchers, especially Kyson Witherspoon, one of the best righties in the country. How do you guys prep for maybe that many arms that you may see?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think it comes down to, like, we're going to continue to work on the things that we've worked on all year. Whether it's a specific arm or not that you're getting ready for, I think that there's certain things that we all have to do regardless of what we're going to see. And I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of focus on that stuff, focus on ourselves. We'll talk about the guys we'll be seeing, but I think it'll be more about us for sure.
What is it that makes regionals are so unique because you have 4 really fun fan bases converging on one ballpark? It's really just a celebration of the game. What's sort of your favorite part of being in a regional?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it. I think it's just a lot of fun having 4 different fan bases here, especially at the Bosch. We saw it last year, just how much fun it can be. And not even like just playing too. Like we'll be around for the other games, watching, and that's always fun too. I think that pretty much we look forward to all of that stuff. It kind of all goes together to make it fun. Sure.
As one of the captains on this team, have you talked to any of the younger guys about what it's like to play in a regional going into the postseason?
Not necessarily. I think that this past weekend was really good for a lot of those younger guys playing in that environment. I think that it was it was good timing. We played in front of 3 really, really good crowds in 3 good baseball games. And I kind of think there's no better way to prep for something like a regional than that. And we'll talk about it, but I think that we're just going to do our thing, and those guys are ready.
What are the advantages of playing at home as opposed to having to go to, say, Terre Haute?
Nice pull, Oreo.
That was an experience for sure. I think we play our best ball here, and teams got to go through us at the Bosch, and I think that we're a really tough team to beat here.
Along those lines, is there any sort of, I don't know if comfort level is the right way to say it, but familiarity with this is the path that you guys sort of followed last year, obviously,
Yeah.
with the knowing you'd have back-to-back weekends at home in the tournament. Is there a comfort level in knowing that this is the same road you took last year, or do you think that matters since it's obviously a different team? Or?
Yeah, exactly. It's a different team, different year. I mean, it's definitely nice to be at home, but I also think that regardless, you got to go and you have to play good baseball. Yeah. Everybody at this level, at this stage, is going to be a good baseball team. And again, it kind of just comes back to us playing our game.
You guys broke the attendance record at the Bosch last year in the Supers. You coming for that record again this year?
Wouldn't be surprised if they do it. I was blown away by the crowds in Durham, and it was all heels, which was really, really cool. So I wouldn't be surprised one bit.
Is there anybody on the team, you know how the bracket stuff goes, whether it's basketball or baseball, that was like really studying who you might have coming here? I mean, you knew you'd be playing here. Like, is there anybody like in charge of just like, all right, the spreadsheets and things like that?
Yeah, I'm sure we did. It's just kind of funny, like when you track it over the last week or two, like it changes every single day.
Yeah.
So like I think we all kind of follow it a little bit, but you also have no idea coming into the day. So like that's why today's fun. You finally figure out who you got, who you're getting ready for.
Postseason's a different type of ball game, but what do you hope to take from this past tournament that you just guys played and the regular season from your own personal game or the team's game that you hope to bring in?
I mean, I think team-wise, that it further proves that we can beat anybody, we can play with anybody at any stage, and I think that if anything, it made us that much more confident, which we were very confident coming into the weekend. So I think that it's all good things.
Is there any sort of relief when they announce the bracket for you guys that you don't have to have this kind of pent up, who are we going to get?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. Just one less thing to think about for sure. I don't think we were necessarily like worried about it or stressed out or anything like that, but it is one less thing to think about for sure.
Good.
Cool.
Thanks, Jackson.
Appreciate it,
Thank you
Jackson.
guys.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Jackson, tell the guys when Coach Gadd's ready, y'all can go ahead and get at it.
Yes, sir.
Jake, you watched last year for the regional at Washington Stadium. Just what are your feelings going into this one, knowing that you get to go up there and catch?
Yeah, I'm just excited to get to play postseason baseball for the first time again in 2 years. First time at home for me, so it'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to the great crowds, and we got a set of 3 good teams coming in, so we're excited.
In your role as a captain, especially leading this pitching staff, are you going to say anything to them in particular to kind of keep their heads level going in?
I don't think so. I don't think anything really needs to be said. Those younger kids that have pitched for us have pitched a lot of big innings all year, and they're prepared to go.
You have a really solid infield, turning lots of double plays. Gavin's been really solid at third. Does that change your mindset when you're up there pitching, or are you just kind of still the same locked in?
100%. It makes pitching a lot easier. You can just focus on throwing strikes and pitching to contact, and you don't necessarily have to strike guys out unless there's certain situations where you really need a strikeout. So that's honestly my goal, is to have people put the ball in play, and beyond the infield, the outfield's been tremendous as well, and Steve back behind the plate's been unreal, so it makes pitching a lot easier.
Is this the time of year that you guys, work for year round, whether it's January or October or whatever? I mean, is this sort of like what your eyesight is always focused on, like these regionals and the super regionals and stuff like that?
Yeah, every game's important, but you play to be your best at the beginning of June and going forward. So everything that you do throughout the fall is to prepare you for this time of year. Everything throughout the season, you're trying to get prepared for this time of year. So it's the most exciting time of the year, and I think we're prepared.
And just to follow up on that, it seems like you guys never shy away from talking about Omaha. You know what I mean? Like I think Scott was saying the other day, like August 19th, you guys were talking about Omaha as a goal, as a destination. I mean,
That's the goal.
Right.
Really the sole goal. Everything else is kind of a step along the way, but this program has come so far in the past 20 years. Like that's kind of the expectation is to be in that conversation for going back to Omaha and hosting regionals and super regionals. So that's all you work for, and everything else kind of takes care of itself along the way.
As a pitcher, a chance to face 3 different lineups. I know the Coach Gaines talked a lot about just pitching to your strengths, but how much are you guys going to look at and utilize the scouting reports of not just one team, but 3?
Well, right now we only play one team, so we're only guaranteed to play Holy Cross, so that's what we'll focus on. Especially me pitching wise, like I'm set to start on Friday, so I'm not worried about anybody else but Holy Cross.
How important is it you to stay on the rhythm? You said start Friday, you've been Friday, or lead off. How important for you personally is it to stay in that role, in that rhythm?
It's not really a huge deal. Like they've started with the Thursday games in the ACC the last couple of years, so throughout the year you're short a day, get an extra day. So anything around that kind of time frame is pretty similar. So, but staying in a routine is nice, and you get the chance to go Friday to Friday. It is nice to know what's going to happen.
What did you learn by watching the run to the World Series last year?
A lot. I think the biggest thing in the postseason is controlling the momentum. No game's ever over. We saw that both ways last year, and a lot of these games are going to be good. You make the postseason, you're a good baseball team, so you got to be at your best when the best is needed.
Jake, the regionals are something that's unique to NCAA baseball and softball. 4 fan bases converging on the same ballpark. What's your favorite part about that whole experience, having seen it as an active player and also last year as well?
It's awesome. I mean, there's nothing like a regional, and especially getting to play at home. We know we'll get a lot of support from our fans here at the Bosch, but Nebraska, Oklahoma, all those, they'll have fans coming in as well, and it's just kind of cool to see that environment take place.
What were your initial reactions or feelings when you announced that region?
I mean, you're going to have to beat good teams to get to Omaha to win Omaha. So, I mean, honestly, it was going to be the same no matter what, who we got in our regional. So, just excited that it's here and we know who we have, and it'll be here before we know it.
Jake, if I could ask you, I was thinking about it because I'm looking at the elevator over there. Like last year in Omaha, it seemed like just being there when you guys lost to Florida State, I think you were like the last guy off the field. or at least the last guy in the dugout for like a long time, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I try and forget and remember that moment, but
Right, I'm not trying to. But
yeah.
like, what was going on there?
I think I was just taking it all in.
Okay.
That was a tough year for me mentally, and I wanted nothing more than to be a part of it on the field. But just kind of taking a moment. I didn't know what my future held, so
Right.
just kind of taking it all in
there?
I didn't know. So that can almost be even more of a scary feeling, not knowing what your future holds. So I was honestly just taking it in, and just kind of my mind was wandering through kind of all that I learned through that year, and just taking in how special Omaha is.
Did you have the thought that you didn't want it to be the end? I
Yes,
guess?
of course,
Yeah.
of course. So that was something that me and Coach Forbes talked about later in that week when we got back here, just figuring out what the future held, and it's been nothing short of amazing this year. So it all works out how it's supposed to.
You sat next to Coach Forbes for all of the postseason last season. Do you think that kind of added year of experience from like a coaching point of view is going to help you not just on the mound but lead this team?
Maybe. We had a great time sitting next to each other. But yeah, I learned a lot from him. He's been doing it for a long time, been to Omaha a lot, been in a ton of regionals, super regionals. So just kind of trying to soak in the knowledge that he has will only help me.
After, your first start, of course, you still have to finish out the regionals, but how early will you start looking at who you might potentially play going forward and looking at that?
You have to take it day by day. You have to. We saw it last year with Long Island. We were one pitch away from being in the losers bracket. I mean, every team is really good at this time of year, so you can't look ahead. That's where you get in trouble. So the coaches do a great job preaching that to us, and we have an older group that's been around it a lot. So Holy Cross is our focus, and after that game, we'll see who we get next.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Appreciate it, man. Good talking to you.
Yeah, just excited. How can you not be? I told our guys at breakfast this morning, we had a team breakfast. I realize it, they don't realize it. Number one, how hard it is to make the postseason. Number two, how hard it is to host a regional, and how super hard it is to be a national seed. There are a lot of college baseball teams in the country. We set the standard high here early in the 2000s, and that standard has remained high. And if you look back at it, for us to host as many times as we have, and now to be a national seed again is a testament to these guys. We lost a lot of really, really good players last year, but we did return some really, really good leaders, and they're the reason that we are in the position we're in. So we're excited about it. We're excited about moving forward and getting ready for a super regional. Not a super regional, but an awesome regional in Chapel Hill.
After what you did over the weekend, were you surprised to get a 5?
I mean, I'll let you guys write about that.
So yes.
I think it's perfect for this team, to be honest with you. This team's remind me of the 18 team. That team had the no meat, not enough meat or whatever shirts made. This team will use that the right way, but at the end of the day, we're a national seed, and we know we're going to play home as long as we win, and that's what we're most excited about. And the goal still is, it doesn't matter what your national seed is to be the number one overall team when it all ends.
Scott, I believe I saw this is the 13th time in the last 19 tournaments that you guys have hosted here at the Bosch, and you've been here for all of those. I mean, as a baseball lifer, what's your favorite part about playing these regionals here in the Front Confines?
I mean, our crowds have gotten better and better and better. College baseball has grown a ton. And we're excited. I'm excited because that's what we always wanted. When I first got here, Florida State and Georgia Tech were kind of the standard. I was a volunteer assistant when Georgia Tech had Marcia Share and all those great players, and Florida State was, they were up here, and I remember talking to Coach Fox, we've got to find a way to get to that standard where we're like that in our league, where we're always in the mix to host. Maybe we're in the mix to always be a national seed, and that's, I didn't know that exact number, but that's, I put it up against anybody probably in the last, 19 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
But I like, it's better to be at home. I don't care how you spin it, because we know we're going to be here. We get to sleep in our own beds. We get to use our own facility. We don't have to pack. We don't have to travel. So hopefully that will help us and be an advantage.
I know you're a planner. You're planning for all the situations.
Oh, yeah.
Now that you know who you got, what does your week look like going up to that Holy Cross?
Yeah, well, we already knew what our week, even without knowing who we got. We just have to break down like our rotation. That's the most important thing. Most likely we'll still stay with Knapp and DeCaro, but we'll look at Holy Cross really well. We'll look at Oklahoma and Nebraska. Coach Jackson, Coach Wierzbicki, Coach Howell, Coach Gaines, they're all already working on all that, and Carter, and so we'll take a look at that. But I planned the week out last week. I like to do that. I like to go ahead and plan the regional week and plan ahead, and then you can always delete it if you don't make it. But we knew what we were doing today. I was hoping we'd play 3 games in the ACC tournament because we really needed to play to get ready for the regionals. So what we're going to do is today we're lifting. No baseball for our position players. Our pitchers will do their daily throwing. They'll meet with the coaches, Coach Gaines and Coach Howell. Then they'll get in the weight room and they'll lift. They'll decompress a little bit. They'll all hang out together as a team. Tomorrow we'll practice hard. Tomorrow I have some pitchers throw live that haven't thrown. We'll do our fundamentals, our defense. Hopefully we'll be on the field. If not, we're on the field. We have an unbelievable indoor that we're able to use, so we'll get reps there. We'll have a team dinner tomorrow night. We're going to take the team to an awesome restaurant. Wednesday we'll practice. Then Wednesday evening we'll do a team movie. I'm in charge of picking this team movie.
What are you gonna pick?
I don't know yet. Something sports related. They picked last week. It was good. They surprised me a little bit. We watched First Blood, the first Rambo.
Oh.
So I was like, man, y'all are going way old school.
It's firing you up.
I said, no wonder we're good. That's a really good movie. And then next thing you know, Thursday, the NCAA practice will be here. So it'll go fast. But the most important thing for me is I dive right into it and I, try to just be at every place I can be with these guys, because when you coach so long, you know that it goes faster and your time starts to become more limited, because Jake Knapp won't be here next year. So, we just try to do as much as we can together. I want to make it as much fun for them, because I firmly believe the more fun they have, the better they're going to play.
Jake was talking about how you really can't look ahead at all in a regional format, talking about how you guys are a couple outs away from losing to Long Island in the opening game. Do you think that experience of being down to the wire against Long Island and then against LSU and then against West Virginia the next weekend, do you think that helps prepare you for, I know it's a different team, but do you think that is valuable experience going into this year?
Oh, God. I mean, if you could write a script, that would be it for the returners, because they've played in every type of game. We have another SEC team in here. We have another really good 3 seed in here, Holy Cross. I've already looked at their stats. They have 2 really, really good pitchers, it looks like. And the outside things, you're just going to absolutely crush the 4 seed, but that's just not how baseball works. But this team has experience. They went ahead, they went down, they had to come back. It went all the way, it went all the way to Monday. And then we had to work our tails off the next week. So they know it's going to be hard. And sometimes, you return a team where they just roll through a regional, and that's happened as well here, but I prefer it the other way, because they know, like, hey, the games are going to be close, they're going to be difficult, we're all going to have to be prepared, and we can't overlook. Jake said it best. I mean, we can't overlook today. I mean, obviously we know who our first opponent is, but if we're going to be at our best against Holy Cross, we got to start that preparation today.
Are you given the option of playing in the afternoon or the evening on Friday?
Yes.
And where are you leaning?
The TV can take it over quickly.
Okay.
So I always pick the early game as the head coach because of weather. This time of year, normally, the chance of thunderstorms always come in, and they usually start later in the day. And we like, personally, to play that first game, have a little more recovery, because then after that, you're playing all-night games if you win. You hope you don't lose the first game, but I've seen anything happen. And it gives you time to recover either way, but more for weather. And that's, again, like now, the way our fans are, I feel like they're all going to take that Friday off anyway. They need to, so I'll write them a letter if I need to make sure they get off.
Cold sick.
We got the noon game. It's official on NCAA.
Noon
We
game?
got the noon game.
Boom.
Ooh, we like to hear that.
We just played a good. Hey, we
Got
played-
just what you wanted.
Listen, we played okay yesterday at noon.
Yeah, true. I was going to ask you about that, if you don't mind. Like, do you get the sense of the way you played down the stretch of the regular season, how well you played this weekend in Durham, that this team is peaking at the right time?
You hope. I'm a huge baseball fan, and I love the major leagues. I love watching the playoffs. You hope so. The one thing that we can't hang our hat on is I feel like we have enough pitching and we defend where, because bats can go, it takes one good pitcher. But I feel like we're playing really, really well, and the guys, at the end of the day, when they're playing well, their confidence even grows. And so they're going into this tournament extremely confident. We've got a lot of guys that have played in these big situations. And we also have guys that just played now for the first time, like Kane Kepley or Tyson Bass. They played in front of a huge crowd in Durham in an ACC championship. So now my brain's just going to, well, now we got the 12 o'clock game, so you asked me if I got to change things a little bit. I got to start getting these guys up a little bit earlier.
You have a lot of true freshmen and a lot of sophomores that pitched in that championship. When do you already feel like these guys are ready for the tournament, or is there, one last pep talk that you think there needs to be?
No pep talk for me at this point. Just, if anything, just remind them to stay with their routine. That this is fun. There is no pressure. You can't look at it like that. Hard work eliminates fear. We talk about that all the time. And I tell these guys, you've pitched in every situation. Is what I told Lynch before. You just haven't started. But every time we brought Ryan Lynch in a game this year, it was a tight situation in the ACC, and our league's extremely good. It prepares you for any opponent. Unless somebody goes out there and throws 105 to 110, which I hadn't seen. We've seen it all. We've seen left-handed pitching for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Velocity, different arm slots. We've seen right-handers that are going out there, 95, 98. So we'll be ready for it. And but the freshmen, you have to have them. And they have to be good enough to help you win, because you can't have all transfers in this transfer portal world. At a school like North Carolina, we still have to get elite freshmen. We're lucky that we got them.
On the other side of that, you have a pretty
Two more.
veteran infield. Can you just talk about how that infield and that structure and having them, what confidence that gives to your pitchers and also your shutdown outfield?
I mean, it gives them a ton of confidence. The whole defense. It's a veteran defense if you look at it. Even though we have new players in the outfield, we got a junior left, obviously a junior. Got a grad from my alma mater, who caught the last out yesterday and gave me the ball. But those I'm gonna give him that ball back. That was really, really cool. Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, I mean, you've seen our defense. We were all shocked. Like, that ball was hit 109 that Madera almost caught. So everybody's like, how do you not catch that ball? Because he catches everything.
Right.
And that's a good feeling, like Jake said. I was a pitching coach a long time, and I remember us having such great defenders that as soon as a ground ball was hit, I would almost turn my head. I stopped doing that because I thought, this guy's out. So yeah, that's a big confidence, like Jake talked about. It's very important.
I know things can change, but just initially looking at it, are you leaning toward throwing Jake on Friday?
Yeah, that's my initial gut. I feel like we have 3 Friday night guys. We want the option now. I thought that the tournament really helped us. We wanted to win the tournament, but what we wanted to do was get Aiden some experience out of the bullpen in case we face somebody that had a lot of lefties, because he's got that good changeup. And we wanted to get Lynch a potential start in case he has to make a start, because he would be that guy. But right now, I just feel like the way Knapp and DeCaro, I mean, they're both 2 of the best pitchers in the country. I'm confident with them pitching against anybody. So we will probably keep them on that rest that they just had.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Great stuff.